All right, let's get to the tail of the tape. It is brought to you by Air Asia. Now everyone can fly. Wang Guan, 31. Alex Caceres is 29. Caceres, the taller party by an inch. Both fighters weighed in at 146 pounds. Caceres will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage over Wang Guan. All right, now for the official introductions. Back inside to the veteran voice, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 13 wins, 10 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA, Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 19 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Qian, China, the Dongbei Tiger, Wang Guan. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Percival.
Steve Percival, our referee for this one. Feature bout at 145 pounds. Wang Guan ending an 11-month layoff here tonight, in some part due to injury against the UFC-tested Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres. And with that touch of gloves, we're underway. Guan lands early, Dan.
Counter kicks with punches. There it is again. Super quick with that right hand. He measures his opponent so well.
Guan is in red, Caceres in white.
The benefit for Wang Guan in this one is that this is the opponent that he was originally training for in Singapore.
Exactly right.
So he didn't really have to change a great deal. It's just a continuation of that same training camp.
Caceres did fight that night in Singapore, a win over Rolando D, who competed earlier here tonight.
I do realize every time we say Wang Guan, it sounds like we're speaking patois as well.
That's right. Wang Guan looking to put that China power on display for the world to see here tonight.
And he has it in abundance as well. Such a high knockout ratio, 14 of 19 wins by knockout.
Just about a minute gone by here in round 1. Thank you for being with us. UFC Fight Night, Bisping versus Gastelum. John Anik alongside Dan Hardy.
Give me the ball.
Pausing the action here.
Alex, just go over there. Alex, go over there. Alex,
Caceres
go over
not
there.
heeding the command by Steve Percival to get to the neutral corner. Now he does.
Just stay there. We've got 5 minutes.
As many of you know, Guan will have 5 minutes with which to recover
anyone,
here.
Okay? I'm just got to, yeah.
I got my nuts hit too.
Yeah, and you're getting time, okay? That's all.
I think Alex Caceres there was trying to communicate that he was also hit in the groin.
He might have gotten the worst of it, actually.
Yeah, I think he did.
So, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
You know, he's a hard guy to make angry.
He really is.
Percival seems to have accomplished it. It was really interesting listening to Alex Caceres here during fight week. I've always thought he's sort of been underrated with his strength, right? But his coaches are trying to get him to believe in his power.
Yes.
And all right, here it is.
Let's take a look at this. Both throw knees at the same time. Yeah. It actually looked like Alex Garcia got a clean knee, whereas the knee to Wang Guan was glancing. But that can often affect you worse when it moves the cup, the groin guard of your opponent. A lot of the time, a clean shot on the cup is actually, I mean, that's what it's there for. It's to protect you from that. But it's when those glancing shots that moves the cup, it does sometimes affect you worse. Wang Guan having a good look around.
Alex Caceres, slight betting favorite in this one. 4-time UFC bonus winner. Wang Guan taking the allotted time here.
Good? Okay. Okay, ready? Let's go, gentlemen, time in.
All right, back underway here, early round 1.
The erratic movement of Alex Garcia. Huge fan of Bruce Lee, as you can tell by his nickname. Alex Caceres, my goodness, I've done it again. I'm sure he pays as much attention to Bruce Lee's philosophies as he does his moves. And one thing that Bruce Lee always talks about is changing your cadence, constantly switching your timing. And you can see that's what he's trying to do. He's bouncing in and out, giving his opponent different looks. And I think his afro makes it more dramatic as well when he's feinting.
Oh! Caceres got clipped there. Some early adversity for the American Caceres. Wang Guan looking to follow up.
Caceres with a smile on his face, but he certainly felt that elbow as he closed distance. That may change his approach.
13 first-round knockouts coming in for Wang Guan.
Wang Guan trying to close distance, but Alex Garcia doing the smart thing. Alex Caceres doing the smart thing here of clinching. John Crouch in the corner shouting advice.
Body lock here for Guan. Doing a nice job mixing it up here. Early, attacking the head and the body. Caceres gets a knee to the target. We have crossed the midpoint of round one. Caceres out of that southpaw stance.
Even though Caceres has got such a long reach, he tends to close distance very quickly and land his punches quite short. I would like to see him use the length of his arms a little more. Watch when he closes distance. When he throws his left hand, he's very close to his opponent.
Caceres just missed on that uppercut. The new episode of Dana White Looking for a Fight, available now free on YouTube. Don't miss it as Dana, Matt, and John Vellante scour New York in search of UFC talent. A new episode of Dana White Looking for a Fight, available now on YouTube. Looked like both men were able to land there. A crossing left landed flush for Caceres.
Yeah, Caceres did a good job of checking an inside low kick as well. Beautiful work. Overhand left. Jumps in for the Superman punch. Who does Caceres? We got a snarl off Wang Guan though when he took that punch.
Yeah.
Living up to the Dong Bay Tiger moniker that he's adopted.
Caceres does have a penchant for keeping those hands a little bit low. We'll see if Wang Guan can make him pay.
Beautiful again. Finding the range with that left hand is Caceres.
And believing in that power. Less than a minute here to go round one. Nice body kick as well. So Caceres starting to really find the range here towards the tail end of this round.
Yeah, right on the belt line with that kick. He's got to be careful. Nice check on the inside low kick as well. Caceres has to be careful when he's throwing those kicks because Wang Guan is looking to land that right hand down the center. He threw a wild right hand there, but the straight right is the one that keeps finding its target.
And Caceres early on here carrying himself like the guy who has 17 UFC fights of experience.
You can just see how comfortable Caceres is in there. Oh, he's down!
Goes Caceres! Wang Guan trying to get him out of here late round one!
Good work by Wang Guan.
And there's the final horn for round one. We will see a second round. Caceres wobbly as he gets back to his feet.
Wang Guan celebrates him, but the end of the round.
Wow.
Now this is an interesting scenario because obviously Alex Caceres is hurt. We saw him struggle to get back to his feet and struggle to get to the stool. His coaches are now pouring water on him. They're icing him. They're trying to get his wits back about him. But that fog, it takes some time for that to clear, and this minute might be just enough for him to do that.
Well, you wonder if Steve Percival hadn't been there to sort of hold him up, if Caceres might have fallen over.
Very much so. Beautiful short left hand from Wang Guan there. And he swarms Alex Caceres, was not able to get the finish, but that's a lot of money in the bank for this second round for Wang Guan.
So the question beckons, to what extent has Alex Caceres recovered as we begin this second round? The Shanghai faithful looking for Wang Guan to close him out here. Round two. Caceres the southpaw in white, Wang Guan out of the orthodox stances in red.
The benefit for Alex Garcia having such a loose style is that it's difficult to tell when he's hurt. You can tell, but look at his ankles. That's a good way of telling if a fighter's hurt.
I think he's still hurt, Dan.
Yeah, I agree. But he's so loose, sometimes it's difficult to really tell. Look at his ankles, that's a good way. Every now and then when a fighter's hurt, their ankles buckle because they're not quite planting their feet properly. Wang Guan filled with confidence now, searching forward with his hands. He has to be careful he doesn't leave himself exposed. If he gets too overzealous, he might get caught with something on the way in. Alex Caceres' short left hand is a powerful weapon if he can find it.
Nice body shot from Wang Guan, but maybe not as productive a first minute as you would have expected given where Caceres was after round one.
Nice body kick by Caceres. No, this is good for Alex Caceres to clear his head. He's had a minute quarter now just to kind of move around, stay on his toes. He's not taking any more clean headshots. He looks like he's back. Oh! I spoke too soon.
Guan able to follow up that right hand with a kick to the body. 3.5 minutes here to go round two. This Wang Guan's an assassin. And a groin strike there, and Wang Guan wisely wants to continue the fight here.
Okay?
He doesn't want to give Caceres an opportunity to recover.
Control your weapons, okay?
High fight IQ there from Wang Guan, even if he is a little bit compromised by that groin strike.
Smart move by Wang Guan there to not allow Alex Caceres that time to recover and clear his head. Excellent movement by Caceres. Good footwork, good lateral movement. This is where octagon experience comes into play. Knowing when to apply pressure, knowing when to protect yourself. There's that short left hand.
The partial smile has returned to the face of Alex Caceres. You got me doing it now.
Sorry, John. My bad.
Looked like Guan was just out of range with that left hand. We have crossed the midpoint of this fight.
The flair of Alex Caceres is finding its way back into his game. That shows me that his head's clear. His confidence is back.
Crowd getting behind the Dong Bay Tiger here.
Whistled past the nose of Alex Caceres. Caceres is looking for that left hand as Wang Guan closes distance, but the problem that he's having is that as Wang Guan closes distance, Alex Garcia pulls his front leg back and squares his shoulders up, so it's a short left hand, and if it lands, it's powerful, but he does leave himself vulnerable to big punches, especially because he's already on his heels when he's receiving the punch. Wild overhand left from Caceres. Nice.
So yeah, thought about a takedown, thought better of it. Maybe Caceres thought that strike was to the back of the head. But vintage Caceres, no appeal, just a smile. Just over a minute here to go in round two of a possible three. Big right hand from Wang Guan. I think Caceres is hurting here. We'll see.
He's doing an excellent job of checking the inside low kick, but he's still moving straight forward onto that straight right of Wang Guan.
Pretty good stick there by Caceres. Under 30 seconds now to go in the round.
He really makes the most of the length of his legs, does Caceres, but the punches are so short.
10 seconds left in the round, gentlemen.
Body kick partially lands for Caceres here down the stretch of round two.
Fight! Good work, bro.
So a nice recovery at the very least for Alex Caceres after a critical moment for him at the end of round one. We are going to see a third and final round.
Yeah. Okay.
One for your face, Alex. Dropping over your shoulders.
Largely a big second round, though, Dan, for China's Wang Guan.
I do feel like he's fallen into the trap of looking for the fight finishing punch, though. You know, I would like to see him throw a bit more volume, start to put his combinations together, because every time he looks for that single punch, Alex Caceres is reading it and he's able to start preparing for it. Now he is getting rung a couple of times with it, but he's seeing it now at least.
Okay. Okay. Tiene que knockearlo.
UFC Fight Night Bisping versus Gastelum is brought to you by General Tire. Make your SUV more SUV. Christy Pearson, Red De La Cruz is here. Jing Jing and Isabella making their UFC Octagon Girl debut tonight. Wang Guan making his UFC debut in red. Alex Caceres is in white. You think Caceres will think about a takedown at any point or what?
I don't know. I feel like he's taking too many risks here. He's got excellent lateral movement when he's not striking, but as soon as he decides to attack, he moves directly forward towards his opponent. Caceres feinting, trying to win the outside foot battle. You can see, if you watch the lead leg of Caceres, he's trying to find his foot on the outside, which allows him to an extent to control the lead hand of Wang Guan. Oh my goodness!
1 minute gone by here in this third and final round. Perhaps Caceres needs a finish. He might even have had a 10-8 there in round one.
Certainly with that finish.
Cut under the right eye of Alex Caceres now.
Wang Guan doing a good job of working that lead leg of Caceres now. Oh, there it is again!
Guan looking to follow up the knockdown.
Caceres really starting to show some wear now. It looks like there's a small cut. Look at that flexibility, brings his knee up to knee him in the head. Yeah, that looks like there's some blood coming from just above the eyebrow as well as the cheekbone of Alex Caceres now.
I think this kid loves to fight it all, though, Caceres. I mean, just an unbelievable energy he brings to the octagon.
Without a doubt.
Nice job by Guan to get that guard up quickly. Under 3 minutes here to go in this third and final round. Co-main event coming up next.
Wang Guan tries to punish Caceres for slipping there. Good work by Caceres to shoot in on the legs immediately and put Wang Guan on a defensive. Nice body kick. Body lock. Beautiful knee there. Excellent flexibility and hip dexterity for Caceres. Nice lead uppercut from Caceres. Pushes Wang Guan back up against the fence. Oh, and a spinning back kick to the ribs. I just feel like Wang Guan had stifled that kick enough to take the majority of the danger out of it.
Under 2 minutes here to go. Caceres has made so many improvements over the years at the MMA lab. John Crouch, Eddie Cha. But could very well need a finish here late against the debuting Wang Guan. Looked like he clipped Guan there.
He did. The short right hook he's starting to use a little more now. Especially now because Guan is really focused on that right hand. So every time he throws it, he's starting to overextend with it and leave himself exposed on the left side, which is why Alex Caceres is starting to land that right hook. If he can follow that with a head kick, he might... oh, there we go.
Nice slip there by Caceres. Less than a minute now to go.
Time! Okay, just move back to the camera.
Wang Guan getting the money's worth out of his groin guard in this fight. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, very clean. Caceres almost looked like he changed his mind between the low kick and the body kick, mid technique.
Now, does that happen more often when you got orthodox versus southpaw?
It does, yeah, because that side of the body's open. You're always kicking to the open side of the body, and there's always a danger. I actually was disqualified one time in Japan because I threw an inside low kick and my southpaw opponent level changed onto it. And it's just one of those things, sometimes you can't help it. Especially because when you throw in these kicks, particularly the way that Caceres throws the kick, it's more of a tie kick. So he's hitting with the whole shin, and sometimes he'll meet his opponent as they move forward with a part of the leg that he's not aiming to connect with.
You got hosed that night in Japan, is what you're telling me.
Oh man, I was so disappointed.
So, you know, I've been critical of fighters for not taking their time, right? And obviously, strategically, Guan earlier, maybe it wasn't as significant a groin strike, but when he had Caceres on the proverbial ropes, he went right back into action, now taking his time. I'm for it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. There's no reason to not use the time to recover properly, especially in your UFC debut, where you really want to show what you're fully capable of. And so far, he's had an excellent performance against Caceres, who's an experienced and tricky opponent to make your debut against.
Definite urgency from Caceres here in this third round.
I think
best round of the fight.
I think Caceres landed that right hook there. Nice work clinching here for Wang Guan.
Waning seconds of this one. Caceres seemingly with plenty left in the tank. Goes to the combination there. Looked like he tagged Guan.
Again, the right hook finds a home in that exchange.
So Wang Guan and Alex Caceres go the distance. Our fight replay is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
So look at this beautiful work. As Alex Caceres was stepping in, he got caught with that lead hand. And then here in the exchange, again, it was the lead hand. It's almost like a jab hook. Caught Caceres on the chin, dropped him to the canvas, and then Wang Guan did everything he could to try and get his opponents out of there, but the bell rang. Caceres was saved. He managed to get back to his stool, but it was a struggle. Look at this, a very labored effort. Then he gets back onto his stool. He's able to recover, clears his head for the second round, but still, he was walking onto that right hand over and over again. A tough lesson for Alex Caceres. He's got a lot to take away from both of these fighters for this fight.
Wang Guan unbeaten dating to 2013. Alex Caceres trying to make it back-to-back wins to close out his 2017. Caceres came in a slight favorite here tonight against China Power, the Dongbei Tiger, Wang Guan. The former kickboxer who with a win tonight would run his winning streak to 8. And did someone inform him that he has already gotten the nod, or maybe asking him to play to the crowd? All right, let's get it to Bruce Buffer now with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Kampapayanu has it, 29-28, Caceres. Christopher Shen has it, 29-28, Guan. And Paul Sutherland has it, 29-28 for the winner by split decision, the Dongbei Tiger, Wang Guan.
Wang Guan getting it done in the UFC debut. He improves to 21-1 as he dispatches Alex Caceres by split decision.